All right, let's talk about something that we all deal with, but maybe don't think about enough. The invoice. We often see it as just, well, a bill. But what if I told you that simple piece of paper is actually one of your most powerful tools for building real, lasting trust with your clients? That's what we're diving into today.
So think about it for a second. The job is done. Your tools are packed up, you've said your goodbyes. What's the very last thing, the final piece of communication they have from you? It's that invoice. And believe me, that invoice tells a story. The only question is, are you the one writing it, or are you letting the client guess the plot?
And this really hits the nail on the head. An invoice is so much more than a request for payment. It's the final handshake. It's the last word. It's the permanent written record of your professionalism and the incredible value you just delivered.
This is exactly why we have to stop treating it like an afterthought, Just another piece of paperwork to get through. This document is your proof. It's your evidence that you did a great job. When it's clear, it builds rock-solid confidence. But when it's vague, well, that's where the trouble really starts.
This leads us right into something called the trust chain reaction. It sounds kind of dramatic, right? But it's a real thing that happens when that final story, your invoice, is confusing. It all kicks off with just one tiny moment of doubt in your customer's mind.
I mean, check this out. The source material we're looking at points to a real-world story where the technician's work was absolutely flawless, perfect, but the invoice was super vague, and the customer got upset, not because of the work, but because of a simple, missing explanation. That tiny little communication gap spiraled into a much, much bigger problem.
And that spiral has some serious consequences. We're talking about putting customer trust on the line. Your brand's reputation takes a hit. Even your technician's credibility can be questioned. It makes customers doubt your pricing, it creates a ton of back and forth for your office staff, and you could totally lose out on future jobs with that client. It's a huge and honestly a completely unnecessary risk.
This says it all, doesn't it? It's so simple. Every clear, detailed invoice you send is actively building confidence, and every vague one, it's planting a little seed of doubt. So the big question is, how do we make sure we're always building confidence?
Well, luckily, the fix is actually pretty straightforward. It's a simple but really effective framework called the 4-question fix. This is your game plan for making sure every single invoice you send out builds confidence and completely eliminates that doubt.
Okay, these 4 questions are the pillars of a perfect invoice. It's a formula. You start with what was wrong in plain, simple English. Then, what did we do? Just the facts of the action you took. Now, the really important one, why did it matter? This is where you show the value. And finally, you wrap it up with what is the outcome now, to show the problem is solved. Answering all 4 tells the complete story. No gaps, no confusion.
So let's break this down. For question 1, what was wrong, you have to use language your customer gets. No industry jargon, no shorthand. Instead of some technical code, you just say, the furnace was not heating properly due to a failed flame sensor. See? Simple. Then, for question 2, what did we do? You just state what you did. Replaced the faulty flame sensor. Clear, direct, easy.
Now question 3, why did it matter? This is where the magic happens. This is where you connect the dots for them and really show your value. You explain what would have happened if you hadn't done the work. Something like, without this repair, the furnace would continue to shut down and fail to heat the home. Then for question 4, what is the outcome now? You give them that peace of mind. The furnace is now operating correctly and providing consistent heat. Boom. You've gone from just a technician to a trusted problem solver.
Okay, so theory is great and all, but let's actually see what this looks like in the real world. We're going to look at a classic before and after, so you can see just how massive the difference is when you actually use this 4-question framework.
I mean, really, is it worth taking those extra couple of minutes to write all this out? Does it really make that much of a difference? Oh yeah, the answer is a huge resounding yes. Let me show you.
So let's start with what we see all the time, an invoice that just says repaired furnace. And let's be clear, this is not acceptable. Why? Because it explains absolutely zero value. It doesn't protect you if, say, a different part fails next week, and it for sure doesn't build any trust. All it does is create more questions.
And this right here is the perfect contrast. The before, on the left, it's a confusing puzzle of part numbers and charges that the customer has to try and figure out. But the after? That's a clear story. The before makes the client do all the mental work. The after does that work for them. And here it is, the 4-question framework in all its glory. It starts with what was wrong. They found active leaks. It details what we did. They repaired and replaced parts. It explains why it mattered, to restore safe and reliable operation. And it closes with the outcome. All leaks are gone and the boiler is safe. Now that is an invoice that builds trust and makes your value impossible to miss.
So as we start to wrap this all up, let's just zoom out for a second. This whole thing isn't just about writing better invoices. It's about a fundamental shift in how you think about and communicate your true value as a professional.
Your clients, they're not just paying for parts and for your time. They're paying for these three absolutely crucial things. They want to understand the problem, they need to have confidence in the solution, and they want to trust your company. A clear invoice is the vehicle that delivers all three of those things.
Just think about it this way. Two companies can do the exact same, high-quality technical work, but the one who takes the time to explain it clearly will always be seen as more professional, more valuable, and more trustworthy. The work itself might be identical. The difference is clarity.
And this final thought really just brings it all home. Let this sink in. How we explain our work matters just as much as the work itself. The explanation is part of the job. Finishing strong means finishing clearly.
So the next time you're about to send off an invoice, just stop and ask yourself this one question. Is this final story I'm telling building a bridge of trust, or is it planting a seed of doubt? The choice is totally yours, and now you have the framework to get it right every single time. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.